Aloha everyone, and welcome to Skincare with Hyram. If you don't know who I am, my name is Hyram and I'm passionate about teaching you how to perfect your skincare routine. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week. So the drugstore. Drugstores have some bomb skincare, I'm just gonna say it, and that for me personally has been quite the character arc because I used to not really be a fan of drugstore skincare. Drugstores have some bomb skincare, I'm just gonna say it. Some of my favorite skincare products I can find at the drugstore, including Bliss, which has thankfully sponsored part of this video. You guys know I love Bliss, they're a great brand, and if you want to learn more about their products, keep on watching. And I feel like that's something that's only recently happened over the last 5 years because I remember going to the drugstore and the only things I would find were quite damaging. I remember just browsing the aisles and only finding harsh scrubs, stripping cleansers, and pain and agony. That's the emotion I remember. Jokes aside though, some of my favorite skincare brands can be found at drugstores. And as drugstores expand their skincare selection, I'm finding more and more products that I really just wasn't aware of before. And I've seen this interesting dynamic where a lot of people think that drugstore skincare is really only for people who are starting into skincare, who are brand new to the world, teenagers, young people, and a lot of people who say struggle with a lot of skin damage or are a bit more mature kind of overlook drugstore skincare as not powerful enough or think that they're only products that aren't going to deliver the results that they want. And I've said this for a long time and I will continue to say it, just because a product is less expensive does not mean it's not going to work well on your skin. I remember the days when I worked at a luxury department store and we had a lot more mature clients, and so many of them believed this myth that drugstore skincare wasn't going to be effective for getting rid of damage in the skin. That is not true. There are so many incredible formulas that will get rid of damage within the skin that are recommended by dermatologists that are really powerful that you can find at the drugstore. And one of the primary groups of people I've seen kind of overlook the drugstore are people who are struggling with premature aging or the onset of fine lines and wrinkles. And truthfully, I think aging is something that we should embrace because it happens to us all. It's normal. It's only a matter of time before we see aging in our skin. And I don't think it's something that we should be ashamed of. However, I do believe in preventative care, taking care of our skin now so we can prevent damage in the skin as long as possible, and preventing premature aging. There was one point in time when I was a teenager and I was already struggling with deep set lines in my face, wrinkles, damage, all that stuff, and I was like, I don't know if this is normal. And it really was because my skin had just been through so much damage. And that's why I think skincare focused on preventing premature aging and getting rid of aging damage in the skin can be really, really beneficial. And so many people think that you can't find solutions at the drugstore. I don't know who's spreading this myth. I suspect the uber luxury skincare brands, but it's wrong. And I want to introduce you guys to some skincare products that I believe are good for helping to prevent premature aging, treating that damage, and investing into the health of your skin now so you prevent it as long as possible, so that we can take care of our skin, keep it always healthy, and of course embrace the natural aging that at one point will come. So I'm excited to introduce you to some products. If you've watched some of my videos before, you may recognize a few of these products, but some of these ones are new as well. So let's get into it. Now, I've always said every skincare routine needs 4 steps: cleansing, treatment, moisturizing, and sunscreen. Now, cleansing arguably won't do a ton to impact the aging of your skin unless you have an overly harsh cleanser, but that's another conversation. So these products are going to fit into the other 3 categories. First step is treatment. In order to prevent the onset of premature aging and damage, it's really important that you exfoliate regularly. Exfoliation helps to get rid of all the dead skin cells on your face, and contrary to popular belief that it just smooths over your skin, properly exfoliating can help with so many different things: skin texture, hyperpigmentation, scarring, and aging damage. Now, you guys already know that I do not recommend scrubs. I recommend chemical exfoliation because it's the best to be able to help treat all these different concerns. And one product I love at the drugstore is the Honest Beauty Beauty Sleep Resurfacing Serum. I was introduced to this serum when I did a reaction video to Jessica Alba's skincare routine, which I'll have linked down below if you want to watch, but I was instantly impressed with the ingredient list, so much so that I bought the product right after reacting to her video, and I really like this one. This one I'd say is a little bit of a stronger chemical exfoliant, which is good if you're really wanting to double down on that aging damage. It has ingredients like propanediol to help make sure that the skin's moisture is in place, with active ingredients like glycolic acid and lactic acid. Glycolic acid is really beneficial if you are struggling with premature aging or aging damage because it has a very small molecular size, which means it'll be able to really penetrate the skin deeply in order to properly exfoliate the skin and help with all those different concerns. Lactic acid, of course, is another great exfoliant. It's a little bit more gentle than glycolic acid, but still works really well to assist in that exfoliation ability. And then it also has ingredients like sodium hyaluronate, a concentrated form of hyaluronic acid, and niacinamide, a great ingredient for so many different reasons. I'm not even going to say them because you guys already know. Niacinamide is queen! I think this is a good product to help with aging damage because I really do believe that in order to best tackle aging, you need to have a balance of 2 different types of products. I've never noticed any irritation. It's a really popular one. I've noticed that it tends to sell out pretty quickly, so so it is one that a lot of people like. I believe that in order to best tackle aging damage, you need to use two different types of products. First, a good chemical exfoliant like this one to make sure you're removing all the dead skin cells, and secondly, a retinol. Now, if you didn't know, I am obsessed with retinol. The benefits you can see from retinol not only help with aging damage, but so many different types of damage within the skin as well. It's one of the best and most researched ingredients out there. And sometimes it can be a little bit tricky to find a retinol at the drugstore. But a retinol product I've been using over the last few months is the Bliss Youth Got This serum. And thank you so much, Bliss, for sponsoring this video. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Bliss. One of their products I'm going to talk about in this video, I literally use every single day. But this is a great serum that utilizes retinol to help with aging damage and has other ingredients I'm a big fan of. It has squalane, which is good for moisturizing the skin, peptides, which are great for ensuring the health and the strength of the skin, amino acids, which are great for ensuring that the skin is at its top health, and oat kernel oil, one of my favorite ingredients for helping to not only moisturize the skin, but also soothe the skin, which is really great if you are going to be using an ingredient like retinol because it can be so powerful. That blend of other ingredients is called their Prevent 4 complex, and I think makes it a more unique product with the mixture of retinol to address preventative care, an antioxidant boost, moisture, and other benefits. Now, with any retinol, I always recommend slowly introducing it into your routine. You don't want to start off by using it every night or every other night because it's a really powerful ingredient and it's really good for getting rid of damage, but you want to be careful about how often you introduce it to your routine. That way you don't push your skin over the edge. I started using this one quite a while ago before I actually left for New York like 3 months ago. And one of the reasons I like it is because it has this really unique gel-like consistency that I haven't really seen with other retinol products. And I always love finding a retinol that comes in a really unique consistency or has unique characteristics about it. But I really like this consistency, specifically using it alongside more lightweight moisturizers overnight because it is more of a richer gel consistency. But if you're someone who wants a retinol experience with a lot more hydration and moisture than say what the serum would give you, I'd recommend their Youth Got This Deep Hydration Moisturizer. I started using this around the same time that I started using the serum as well, just to kind of like compare and contrast of which one I like more. And I'd say it just depended on what my skin needed in terms of hydration and moisture. I primarily was using this one in the mainland because whenever I go there, I just notice that my skin gets super freaking dry and then I need a lot of moisture as compared to Hawaii where it's more humid. So I usually tend to go towards more lightweight products. This is a similar experience to their serum, but in a more rich consistency. And one of the reasons I love the Bliss Youth Got This line is because they are fragrance free and really good ingredient lists if you have more sensitive or irritation prone skin. As Bliss comes out with more products, I'm constantly impressed by their ingredient lists and how accessible they are to people with more sensitive skin. And every time they have a new launch, I'm just like, wow, I really like these ingredient lists. You can find more information about these products at bliss.com or in the links I've included in the description box below. Thank you so much, Bliss, for sponsoring me. I always love working with you. You guys have great products that I love. And then say you're at the drugstore and you're like, no, I want something that's really powerful, that's super, super strong, that's gonna give me the most intense results I can find. There's options for that too, not to worry. One product, which in my opinion is the strongest thing to be able to help fight premature aging and aging damage, is Differin. And I'm constantly in shock at how few people know about Differin because it's an incredible product. Differin uses an ingredient called adapalene, which was previously only available to dermatologists to prescribe to patients. Adapalene is a retinoid as opposed to a retinol, which means that it's going to be really, really powerful and very effective at treating deep set damage. Now, it used to be only available by prescription, but now it is available for over-the-counter use, which means that you can find it at so many different drugstores. And let me tell you, bitch, it is strong. So strong that my skin actually can't tolerate it. I don't even really have sensitive skin, but for some reason when I use Differin, it's really intense. And that's because it's really, really effective, but definitely not meant for every single person out there. If you're someone who's young, starting into a skincare routine, kind of finding your way, I do not recommend using Differin because it is so powerful. Dermatologists are constantly recommending it. And the great thing about Differin is that it can be used for a bunch of different issues. One of the main reasons being like acne and breakouts, but it's also great for treating deep set damage like aging. And I highly recommend Differin because of all the benefits that it can deliver to your skin. Now, I am saying this as someone, like I said before, who can't use Differin, so I would recommend above all caution. Be careful when it comes to using Differin because it is very strong. It's extremely powerful and in my opinion, only for people who are experienced with skincare. However, if you are that person who believes that drugstore skincare is not going to be powerful enough for your skin, Differin has entered the chat. If you want to see more information, you can go watch my video called The Truth About Differin. I really deep dive into how it works and how you can use it on your skin, different recommendations, and really deep diving into what Differin is. But I think it's awesome that it's available for over-the-counter use because not everyone can afford a dermatologist. Dermatologists are really, really expensive, at least here in Hawaii. You'll easily pay like $300 a session. And not everyone has that much money to spend on skincare. And the great thing is that Differin is really affordable. So I highly recommend it, but I cannot talk about preventative care and preventing premature aging and damage without talking about sunscreen. If you're going to be using any of the products that I just mentioned, or using any other products that focus on preventing premature aging, you must use a sunscreen. Now let's talk about it. Not only do products that focus on treating aging make your skin more sensitive to the sun and thereby more susceptible to skin damage, sunscreen is also the best tool that you can have to prevent long-term damage. From a research standpoint, if you're not using a sunscreen, you may as well not be using the rest of your skincare routine because it's just the most important thing for treating all different concerns, whether it be hyperpigmentation and dark spots, scarring, premature aging, damage, whatever it may be, you need to use a sunscreen. And that's why I have to mention it in this video. And I have some drugstore sunscreen recommendations for you to make it a little bit easier for your journey. One sunscreen that has been my favorite for a while is the SunBum TInted Mineral SPF 30 sunscreen. I use this for a long time because not only does it offer good protection and it's water resistant, but the consistency is really nice. It doesn't feel heavy or like really weighty. Is that a word? On your skin, it has this nice slip to it that really spreads easily across the skin. It also has a tint that helps it feel a little bit more like a tinted moisturizer. Now, I wouldn't say that this is as pigmented as a tinted moisturizer because I do believe that tinted moisturizers are more so makeup than they are skincare, but it's great for offering a little bit of corrective ability. Now, I will say that not every skin tone would benefit from this. If you do want to see recommendations for deeper skin tones, I've made multiple videos about sunscreen recommendations that I have. Feel free to go watch them. I'll have them linked down below. But for my skin tone, this is a great sunscreen, and I've seen so many people in my life really enjoy using this one. However, if you don't want a tinted experience, SunBum also has their SPF 50 mineral sunscreen, which is great as well. I'm honestly a big fan of the SunBum sunscreens because of how lightweight they feel on the skin. That's a great option as well. It does have a little bit of extra protection. Be mindful, there may be a little bit of white cast, so it's really important that you warm it up in your hands and really work it into your skin to help minimize that white cast as much as possible. But nonetheless, a great drugstore sunscreen because if you know the drugstore sunscreen scene, it's rough. It is difficult to find good quality drugstore mineral sunscreens because sunscreens are just really expensive to formulate. They're really, really difficult. And then recommending my personal favorite sunscreen that I've used for months and months and months. I can't even count how long I've been using this one. I use it multiple times a day. The Bliss Blockstar SPF 30. I've talked about it in so many videos. You guys are probably rolling your eyes at this point, but I really love this one. I use it every single day. The reason I love it is because it's very lightweight. I can reapply it with no issues, no problems. It never feels heavy on the skin. It has a corrective tint to help match the skin tone and works really well if you have oily skin like myself. Now, I will say this does include one ingredient, lavender oil, which out of all the essential oils is the least irritating, but if you are someone who has a sensitivity to lavender oil, then I would be mindful of that. However, being that the rest of my routine is fragrance-free and it's the only fragrant ingredient in this one, I love this product. It's just so good. And I've turned so many of my friends onto this one from so many skin tones because it's just that good of an experience. I'm a huge fan of this sunscreen. So what have we learned? You want to make sure you're properly exfoliating. You want to make sure you're utilizing a retinol, or if you want to, a retinoid. You want to make sure you're getting that moisture, and of course you want to make sure that you're properly protecting your skin from the sun to not only make sure that your skin is taken care of now, but to help it in the long run. What do you guys think? Do you have other drugstore recommendations that focus on preventative care for aging? Please let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your feedback because I'm always looking for new products to explore and try out. If you have any videos that you're really interested in seeing from me, please let me know down below as well. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and to the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.